We welcome to the show Marcia Griffiths. How's it going?
Well, I was in the studio for a couple of hours not too long ago. I took a break so I could be able to talk to you. And I'll go back when I'm finished.
So what are you working on?
Oh, I was working on some new stuff and working with Winston Francis.
Oh, brilliant.
And the tracks, it's interesting, you know. It's the same music with a little twist, I should say.
Is it like your latest single at the moment, or is it different again?
No, it's different. It's different. Do you have my latest single?
Yes, I do, yeah. It's very good.
Which one is that?
It's,
Holding You Close?
Holding You Close, yeah, that's the one.
Wow, that's one of my favorite songs, Chris. I don't know what version you have because there are quite a few versions there, but that version,
the remix I have.
The remix, that's the one. I love it. I really do love it. It's not very often that I do a song that I really like so much, you know.
And what was that like to do that song?
It was easy for me because when you hear something that you like, it brings more out of you. You know, and that's one of the reasons why I really love that song. The sincerity and the honesty that came out doing that song, because the melody was really beautiful and I enjoyed singing that song.
And what was it like working with who you collaborated with?
No, I didn't actually work with Silly Walks. It was after the song was the original rhythm, which was much slower. But even while I was recording the song itself was something that I loved. You know, I never thought about hearing the rhythm in another style until I heard Silly Walks, and they really brought out the best out of that song. You know, the original rhythm is much slower and it's not really doing anything for the song. That's what I thought. When I heard that remix, I said, wow, this is what the song was lacking.
Yeah, it sounds fantastic.
Yes, thank you.
So, with what you're recording today, is it just a few tracks, or is it an album? Or?
No, it's just a few tracks. It's just a few tracks. I actually had this on my agenda for a long time to do this collaboration with Winston Francis. And I really do like this song too. So I finally got a chance to come and to do the song.
Have you worked with Winston before?
No, not in collaboration, but we were on the same stable at the Studio One working for many decades ago.
When is it likely to be released? And also, what's the name of the songs? Can you tell us that?
I think it's My Love. I'm not so sure the title, but you know, My Love is repetitious in the song, so I would think they would call it My Love.
Oh, okay. Oh, that sounds good. And when do you think it will be released?
I hope soon. I hope pretty soon, because it's a lovely song, and I hate to know that they sit on these nice songs and keep them there on the shelf when they could be out there, you know. So I'll encourage them to do it as early as possible.
Who are some of your favourite reggae artists?
Well, there are so many, you know. I don't have a one particular one, because when it comes to reggae music, when I started out in the, couple of decades ago, it was totally male dominated. But Chris, I have to say right now, just talking to you, that I am very proud and I'm very happy to know that the music is no more male dominated. It's like a 50-50 where with the women and the guys. And I have to say, I have to pat myself on my shoulder that all these ladies have acknowledged the fact that I was their inspiration and I was their role model. And, it's a wonderful feeling. And some of these ladies are my favorite singers. We're talking about people like Elaine, Etana, Queen Ifrica, Tanya Stevens. You know, all these ladies can stand on their own. You know, and it's just so wonderful. That's where the female are concerned. These are so very talented sisters. And fortunately for me, my latest CD that is out, all these ladies that I just called, they are on my CD, you know, doing collaborations with myself, which is very nice as well. And as for the others, Barry Hammond, Freddie McGregor, Barrington Levy, you know, just to name a few, are really my favorite.
But I suppose you could go on forever, couldn't you?
Yes, I could, because there are quite a few talented people, you know, guys in the music here, really, really talented, and they just keep putting out a lot of hit songs.
So it was very different then when you first got into music. There wasn't many lady singers about.
No, it was totally male-dominated. Myself and Hortense Ellis, who is a sister of the late Alton Ellis. You know, we were the only two people that were there, but she hardly did recordings. But I was always in the studio at Studio One. We were just discussing it just a while ago, that the songs we recorded at Studio One they are songs that will live forever, because all the good ingredients went into these songs, you know?
Timeless music.
Timeless. We never thought about money, getting paid or anything like that. We just went in the studio every day like a 9-to-5 job and sang our hearts out. So these are just, as you say, timeless. So, you know, it's just wonderful that we can have these music still going strong, especially in Europe. These songs are the songs that they really love and embrace, you know, because Catalites was always on the road, annually, touring, and that's the music. When I went to Studio One at age 10, I saw these musicians, and they could all be my father, and I met them on the road touring since I have grown and become a woman. So, you know, the music is always there and alive, that music.
Now, if you could choose for me one of your favourite reggae songs. I know there's many to choose from.
I don't know if I have a favorite, because most of the songs that I do, I try to keep them strictly message songs to teach, educate, and uplift. And I usually send a special message for the sisters, the women. You know, women are usually seen for their favor. So I usually try to send message to strengthen and to embrace my sisters. So one of the songs that I did dedicating to the sisters was a song called Survival. That's one of my favorite songs for the women. And Stepping Out of Babylon is another song that I wrote, is another favorite of mine. Okay. But it's hard to pick favorites, because every song has a different vibe, a different story, a different feel, you know. So it's like asking me, what is my favorite Bob Marley song, you know?
But when I ask that question, people can't answer.
No, that's true. That's true. There's not a favorite. Yeah. They're all my favorite.
When you first got started, how did it all happen for you, going back?
I started out, Philip James, who was a very popular duet in Jamaica, Lloyd Campbell and Philip James, Blues Busters. He heard me singing one night when he was visiting a friend next door. And he was just overwhelmed with my voice, and he said, "Little girl, I have to get you on stage Easter Monday morning." And this is Easter Monday morning, 1964. I'll never forget. And the show was already planned. It was Byron Lee and the Dragonaires playing on. We have Christmas concert, Easter Monday concert at the theater. And they refused to even entertain the thought for me coming on the show. And this guy just insists, and he said, you have to put this little girl on. And I went to the rehearsal, and they were very reluctant in rehearsing me because they just didn't want me on the show. And Barony was saying, oh, my show is already planned, and, you know. So anyway, I got a one rehearsal, went to the show the morning, and it was my time. I walked on stage, and they purposely didn't start the song the way all the song was supposed to be started. I did Carla Thomas, No Time to Lose. And they were just there standing with a smile on their faces as if they are, you know, they are going to just teach me a lesson. And then even from that tender age, I was just 10 years old, I heard a voice saying, little girl, just start singing. And that's what I did. I just started singing and I ignored them, and they started following me. And if you drop a pin in that theater that morning, Chris, you could hear it. And the audience just went crazy. They'd never heard anything like that because I was doing the song, singing the melody, and I was harmonizing myself at the same time. Because in those days, you are inspired by the American singers. And I was inspired by Aretha Franklin and Carla Thomas, Dionne Warwick. So whenever you're doing their song, you want to emulate them to the T. So that's what I did. So they were just blown away hearing me doing that song. So that's how the rest is history. Everybody came and they wanted to sign me up that morning. So I went the very day to Studio One, and that's where I started recording.
That's brilliant, and you really showed them. They didn't want to put you on there.
No, they just planned to just, you know, mess me up so bad. But God was in control.
That's a really, really good story.
Yes.
And I expect you're very grateful to the man who...
Oh, I am so grateful. I can never, as long as life lasts, I could never forget him, you know. He gave me the baton. He gave me the start. And then when I went to Studio One, Mr. Dodd just gave me the baton, and I just took it and I just ran. And up until this day, it is known that I am the only woman in the business who has ever done something like this, to have stood in all the decades since the 60s and always remain current, and I'm always on the road, and I'm always, you know, recording with younger artists, doing collaborations with all the young singers, you know, so.
You're with it.
I am just truly thankful, yes.
With the new tracks, they're going to be out soon, and I'm going to play your latest single now, Holding You Close.
Yes, thank you. I love that.
Thanks for joining us on the show, Marcia.
Oh, thank you so much for having me, Chris, and it was so nice talking to you. Much love and blessings to my fans.